Hello everyone, and welcome to the first week of the World Trophy, where we're going up against Coach Sparrows and his new England Eeveelutions. You can see my team at the bottom consisting of Dragapult, Obstagoon, Alolan Ninetales, Bronzong, Rotom, Heat, Vaporeon, Gerda, Vileplume, Stunfisk, and Clefairy. And my opponent up here is pretty scary. He has a Sandcore with a Tyranitar Excadrill, he has a Gothitelle that can trap things, a Corsola, he has Noivern, who's super fast and can be pretty annoying, and it's actually pretty good with heavy duty boost in the new meta. He has a Roserade, a Hitmontop, a Quagsire, a Golisopod, and a Manectric. So the first thing I notice about his team is obviously he has a Sandcore, and Sand is, you know, pretty scary. Both Tyranitar and Excadrill by themselves are pretty good Pokemon, so put them on the same team, kind of disgusting. Noivern is annoying because obviously, like, it got better with Defog and it can be not weak to rocks anymore. But it's also just really a fast hard hitter, and it gets Frisk, which is super annoying, so it can figure out your items. And yeah, that's just, no. And he has the Hitmontop, who can possibly run Intimidate. He also has Corsola, who, you know, can be a pretty nuisance. Like, generally, he has some things. And he also has the opportunity to have Toxic Spikes. I don't know that he'd bring it, but he has the opportunity. So, going and looking at his team, there are some things that I think is pretty obvious that he'll bring. Like, the Tyranitar Excadrill, definitely coming. Noivern is also coming. Hitmontop, I 100% expect, because I have Obstagoon, and it's basically the only thing that can really sort of kind of deal with it. It can also kind of, depending on how he trains it, it can also help with Ninetales, because one of the big things that I noticed, that's a fly, I actually got it, that's pretty impressive. A fun thing is that between Blizzard and Freeze-Dry, he does not have a single ice resist. So that's a good thing noting going into the team. And that's also why it's not really surprising that my first member of the team... Oh, yeah, I should turn it on there. There we go. First member of the team is Alolan Ninetales. And we have enough speed to outspeed Roserade, because the thing that I noticed about the team is that he obviously has Excadrill and Sand, who can be super fast, and he has Noivern at, I think it's 123, or 22, 26, no, it's not 26, 100 and a couple of 20, I think it's 23. And then it actually jumps all the way down to Manectric and then to Roserade. And I'll be honest, two Pokemon that I absolutely don't expect to see are Corsola. I don't really think that does too much for him in this match. And Manectric. So I said screw Manectric. We pretend like it doesn't exist. And I just spec for a Roserade with this thing. And you can see my moves. I have Freeze Dry because in case it brings something like Quagsire, we kind of want to be able to hit it. Obviously, I would not expect him to bring Quagsire and Roserade. Especially because he's definitely going to bring Noivern. Like, he has to kind of pick between his last Pokemon there. I think Gothitelle could definitely be a bring. Because it's not weak to ice. Like, obviously it's weak to Obstagoon. But even though it's weak to Obstagoon, nothing else really wants to take hits from Obstagoon anyway. So I don't know how much it matters that it's weak to it. And it helps him against Ninetales. It also helps him against Vaporeon, because other than his water types, he doesn't really have a good answer to a little Vaporeon. A lot of his things are kind of, you know, could sort of kind of take a hit, doesn't really want to get burned, and Roserade doesn't really want to pop up, and it doesn't want to eat an Ice Beam either. So he can bring Gothitelle, so it's likely... Yeah, I think that the last two he's going to bring is or the last one that he is going to bring will probably be something like Quagsire or Golisopod. I don't know. Depends. I have yet to see Golisopod do work. Maybe we'll get to see Golisopod do work. I don't know. We will see. But we have Ninetales here. We have Freeze Dry. We have Blizzard. I'm not saying it in the order because I put things in a weird order when I put them in Showdown. We have those two, and then obviously there is one thing. Tyranitar does not in Sand take particularly much from a Blizzard, but on the other hand, it takes a heck of a lot from a Moonblast. It actually gets 2-shot unless it's like Assault Vest and Super Invested. So that's pretty useful, especially because we are only speed creeping Roserade. It means that we can actually be modest, which is pretty nice. And because it doesn't have an ice resist, I threw Never Metal Ice on. Didn't do too many calcs. I just basically want this thing to break his team. And if there's an opportunity for it, we also have the veil on it, because otherwise what should I put on it? Like, maybe, you never know, maybe it would come clutch. Maybe it can help something suddenly take a hit. So that's NINETALES. Next team member was Obstagoon. Flame of Gods. Obstagoon just hits super hard, and with party shot, knockoff, facade, and close combat. What takes a hit from this thing? Nothing. I mean, a couple of things might take like one hit, but they don't really take two. So if we can get, if we can get Obstagoon in and get the flame or pop for free, this thing can basically run havoc on his whole team. And if it doesn't really like the matchup, you know, we can punish it out, because again, we're going for the same speed as we are with NINETALES. We're going to just outspeed, max speed, rose rate, because that's not really a reason to do anything else. Because either Execute is going to be slower, it's going to be Scarf, or it is going to be insane and be super fast. I will say, no, we can discuss that when we get there. We have this thing, it can run havoc in the right situations. When this doesn't get outsped, it can take some hits. It can take some hits. So it can't take hits, no, it can dish out hits. That's what I want to say. We can dish them out. Lastly, rounding out our offensive core is Dragapult. Basically, this thing is the speed series. I should move my mouse a little bit. No, okay, no, I'll move it this way. This thing is made to speed creep and Noivern. That's speed creeping and NINETALES, and then adding a couple of points in case it makes it Scarfed. And I don't know. Like, if he's going to make something Scarfed, it's going to outspeed max speed Dragapult probably. But if he doesn't go for it, but goes for me, him speed creeping me, then I might hit faster. Yada yada. But I think there is a good chance that the Noivern will come Scarfed, because let's be real, he needs something that can prevent this. He needs a Scarfer, and I don't think Excadrill is not enough, because it doesn't hit as super effective. And Dragapult, while it doesn't look bulky, it has this thing that you can also see here. Like, I only need 148 investment in speed to get the speed set that I wanted, so that actually leaves me a quite good thing to just pop in the HP, and that actually makes Dragapult able to live basically any neutral hit that you throw at it. And we have U-turn, we have Will-O-Wisp. Because the things that can kind of switch into this thing are things like Tyranitar, is things like Hitmontop. Yeah, that's basically the two, and they don't want to get burned. So my thought process is that if I get this in and I can kind of feel that they're coming in and I'm not really, you know, that they aren't chipped down, I can't really take them out, then I can Will-O-Wisp and then I can U-turn out the next turn. We have Phantom Force because he has one Ghost Resist, and that's Tyranitar, and he has no immunities. And with Dragon Darts, he does not have a fairy. First of all, that's a thing to note. And his only Dragon Resist is Excadrill. So if we get those things chipped down, we can kind of just come in and wreak a lot of havoc. And again, like, we have the Dragon Fang. We could have gone something like Life Orb or something, but I didn't really want to, because I can see myself U-turning with this thing. Because Dragapult also helps something like Obstagoon come in. If we force something out, we can use and, you know, get it in. Could be pretty nice. That's basically the thought of it. So that basically rounds out our offensive core. But obviously we need a little bit of defense. Like, we have these hard hitters that can kind of, you know, hopefully tear a hole through the team. But we need some more too. And this one is going to be interesting, because we are throwing on Bronzong. Yes, it has Levitate. And yes, it's holding the air balloon. Because my thought process is, Excadrill gets walled by this thing if it's Sand Rush, Levitate. If he's Sand Rush and I'm Levitate. Because Shadow Claw doesn't necessarily do that much. Like, we can take 2 Life Orb Shadow Claw from an Adam and Excadrill with this thing. And we also take a Crunch from Tita, obviously, because of that. I really think I have a gut feeling that he's going to be running Mold Breaker Excadrill. And I want to just, like, laugh in his face and send this out against him and say, ha ha ha, you cannot hit me with an EQ. Because the thing is, Mold Breaker Excadrill tears through my whole bloody team. Because Rotom gets popped, it's suddenly 4 times weak. This thing is 2 times weak. And if it's for some reason something like a Choice Banded Adamant Mold Breaker Excadrill, this thing gets one shot. It can take one from a Jolly non-damage item Excadrill, but if it's Adamant or has any kind of damage boosting item, like, we will get obliterated by it. So we have it. So I need to really be careful about not sending Bronzong out too early. Because yes, it has Stealth Rocks, and yeah, it's kind of nice utility because it also has Toxic. And has Ironhead that can hit a lot of his team, and we have Body Press because we have a pretty good defense. We just really need to be careful for it, because if it is a Mold Breaker Excadrill, we can be quite in trouble. So note to self, don't throw it away. In case something should go wrong. We also have a little girder here. It's mostly for T-Top, because it's kind of the only thing that I have that really wants to switch into T-Top, bearing something like, I don't know, Clefable, maybe Stunfisk. But they don't, alright, like, we have this Excadrill that we know is coming, and that's not, it doesn't feel that nice. Yeah, it doesn't feel that nice. Stunfisk you could have made it before, but you know, it is what it is. I feel like overall Bronzong's better. But we have this cute little thing here. Also note about the Bronzong is that it should be able to take 2 Shadow Balls from a Gothitelle, which is quite nice, because again, I think it's one of the things that is coming. But yeah, going back to Gerda. We can level 2 EQs from Excadrill. We can also, with the investment that we have in our nature, we can one-shot a T-Tar if it's max HP, which is quite nice. We should also, as long as it's not bold or physical investment Rose Raid, which I have a feeling it'll be more especially defensive than physical defensive, we should be able to two-shot it after rocks with knockoff, which could be pretty helpful. And again, then we have, you know, Toxic kind of help wear the team down if it becomes a little bit of a slower paced match. It's a little hard to judge, because obviously half of my team is pretty offensive. He has things like Excadrill, Neuven, Rose Raid, kind of Rose Raid, right? T-Tar, yeah, he also has some things that can make this game either, oh, we got disconnected from Showdown, that's interesting. Let's just reconnect you. No, we'll go offline. It's fine. It can be either really, oh, we did get thrown out. We can get either, like, either it's going to be a pretty fast-paced game, or we're going to get slowed down a little bit. And if it gets a little bit of a slower one, having Toxic is quite nice. And also, just in case he gets some rocks and is kind of in a bad situation for me, or if he for some reason brings Rose Raid and gets up Toxic Spikes and I'm not really enjoying that too much, then, you know, we have Defog just in case. It could also be Mark Punch. I'm kind of iffy about it. I may regret not having Mark Punch. We'll see. But yeah, that's basically that's Gerda. So with the last member, I was kind of looking around, and there's not really something that's really shining out at this point. But I end up going with Vaporeon. It didn't pop up in this one. Wait, Vaporeon, where are you? I don't know where Vaporeon went. There should have been a Vaporeon right here. Oh well, Vaporeon's gone. Let me just find Vaporeon, okay? I don't know what happened there. Now we got a big nice Vaporeon. We have Vaporeon. You can see it's a more defensive one this time. With Skull, Ice Beam, Vision, Baton Pass. First, let's just on the Baton Pass. One thing that I really see is, first of all, we already have 2 Toxic users. We have both Gerda and Bronzong with Toxic. And Vaporeon kind of allows things like Gothitelle, things like Rose Raid, and things like Quagsire and potentially also Golisopod to come in pretty freely. And I think one of the important things that I need to have happen with Vaporeon is to not lose too much momentum having it in, especially when I'm bringing a more defensive one, because I mean, it's not like we don't hit hard at all. We have 110 base, you know, special attack. That's quite nice. But it's still like, I feel like having the momentum and getting Ninetales in, getting Obstagoon in, getting Dragapult in, I think those are the things that can win me the game. And not just sitting in there with Vaporeon. Even though, like, being honest, if he cannot bring Rose Raid, which, you know, he might not, or Manectric, who I don't think is coming, it makes dealing with Vaporeon a little bit harder, especially because between Scald and Ice Beam, it hits everything. It also has Wish, so it can keep itself alive. Obviously, it's a little bit harder when we don't have Protect, but you know, it's the Moosal Center thing with Vaporeon. But it can also help with Gerda, it can help with Bronzong if they get chipped down and they get to be pretty important in the match. So that's basically the team. I think we have an alright matchup. I think it's definitely winnable as long as my brain does not go out the window while we play suddenly. I think that's the thing that I fear most is somebody brain fighting completely and, you know, throwing the game, because I think we have a good team against it, and I think we have the right 6 that can kind of take on his team. And again, I'm definitely expecting Moldbreaker Excadrill. I'm so sure. I will bet you right now, Excadrill is going to be Moldbreaker, and Noivern is going to be Scuffed. Just saying it. And Hypnotoad is also going to come, and so is Tita. And probably Gothitelle, and then one of the water types. Oh, Roserade. Would he bring Roserade? He might. Like, it's either Roserade or one of the water types. That's the last one. But we will see. The match should be up tomorrow. So without further ado, like, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you, as I said, tomorrow. So, you know, thanks, camera. That was like beautiful timing. That I became a Smurf right there. Beautiful timing. But with that, it was going so well. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and until tomorrow, keep it cool. Bye. Damn you, camera.